Hey, what's up guys? This is A12 bringing you my week 3 match of the PWC, and this week we're taking on Leader Layton and Experiment W. And as you can see, he has a very scary team, with notable threats including the Blaziken, Spectrier, and Arcaldon. So in order to deal with these threats, we are bringing the Choice Banded Entei. Now, we're bringing this set is because he does not have a good fire switch in. And it's also a good emergency check to things like the Blaziken with the extreme speed. The next Pokemon we're bringing is a pretty standard Ogerpon Cornerstone with the superpower so that it can hit Arcaldon, and U-turn just so that it can pivot around. Next Pokemon is Iron Treads, which is Assault Vest so that it can take hits potentially from the Spectrier should I allow other Pokemon to go down, with Rapid Spin because we don't like hazards on our side of the field. The next Pokemon we are bringing is Latios, which is pretty standard specs with the Luster Purge Draco Meteor Future Sight Flip Turn. It can just generally break through his team. His Dragon Resist is the Pheasantipity, which will go down to specs Luster Purge, so it's a good breaker. The next Pokemon we're bringing is Wigglytuff, which is basically just there only because Spectrier is very annoying if you don't have a bulky normal. And the last Pokemon we are bringing is Tauros Paldean, which is Intimidate, a standard defensive set. I believe I speed crept it for the Rotom Heat, with Earthquake, Close Combat, Sword Chop, Bulk Up. Just generally a good emergency check to his physical threats. So that's my team, and let's get into this battle. Okay, so he surprised me a little bit by not bringing the Spectrier, so unfortunately my Wigglytuff is for naught, but that'll just still be generally okay. He's probably got a lead with the Donphan, I would imagine. Yeah, Donphan lead makes a lot of sense for him, so he could get spikes off. Knowing that, I think my Latios lead is pretty safe. He might lead Masquerain and proceed to get up Sticky Webs, but even if he does that, I could just Rapid Spin at any time. His Donphan is probably going to be Terra Ghost, I would assume, if he brought a team build like this, as I assume he's planning on spin blocking me. So I'm just leading Latios. I'm expecting either Masquerain or Donphan lead. I don't know which one. It could be either or. Masquerain is very surprising. I didn't expect him to bring that when I have one of the best spinners in the game and some of the best hazard setters in the game, but I didn't bring any of my hazard setters this week, unfortunately. Okay, so he leads Donphan. Fair enough, fair enough. He's probably just gonna get his rocks off or something. I could sack off. I could just get a massive chunk on this Donphan right now by just Luster Purging it. Is that worth it? Let me think. HB, I have two options. I could either fire off a very powerful Luster Purge here and essentially trade my Latios, or I can go out into, I could flip turn out into Tauros to check. I think I'm just gonna Luster Purge. It feels pretty safe. If he's Terra Dark, he's Terra Dark, but even if he's Terra Steel, he's Terra Steel. But either way, getting damage off on this Donphan would be very big for my team, as, Donphan out of the way would be really good for me. So I assume he goes out Pheasantipity. No, he goes out Arcaldon. Interesting, interesting. This is like Assault Vest. How much will this Luster Purge do? I'm like Choice Specs. Decent chunk. Get the special defense drop. He gets that. And he's like leftovers. Okay. So here, I guess, I mean, he has Body Press. Am I okay with Treads going down with what he brought? He brought Blastoise, Pheasantipity. No, so I still want the Rapid Spin. Tauros with what he brought. I think he's probably going to go for the Dragon move here, but either way, with what he brought, since he didn't bring the Blaziken, my Tauros is a lot less necessary in this matchup. So I'm just going to go out into Tauros and fire off either a Close Combat or Earthquake, probably Earthquake. If he Dracos, he Dracos. Hard Press. Physical? Interesting. So that'll do basically nothing. And I kind of regret not staying in, but it's okay. That's still generally fine. As he's getting this recovery, Do I bulk up here with what he brought? Pheasantipity, Arcaldon, Rotom Heat, Masquerain. He probably goes out Masquerain here, I would assume. Yeah, but I'm not really that scared of Masquerain with what I brought. So I'm fine with just firing off close combat. If he goes Masquerain, actually, yeah, I'm fine with firing off close combat. If he goes Masquerain, he goes Masquerain. That's fine. Masquerain, I assume? Yep, Masquerain. Okay, so he gets the Intimidate. Fine. I'm gonna fire off close combat. How much does this do? Essentially nothing because quad resist, but also fine. I don't necessarily need my Tauros for anything, and I broke his Sash. And here, I'm just gonna go out into my Treads. I know that this can potentially be Hydro Pump, but yeah, even if he is Hydro Pump, that's not really a huge deal for me, as I am in Assault Vested Treads. And if he is Quiver Dance, fine, I'm still in Assault Vested Treads, so I'll take the Hydro Pump after +1. But, yeah, I don't know what he does. I assume he Quiver Dances, and I assume he's like Quiver, Hydro, Bug Buzz. I don't know what the last move would be. Yep, Quiver. I should be able to take this since I'm like an Assault Vested Iron Treads. If I don't, that surprises me a lot, but yeah, I'm not really panicking quite yet. I still have Wigglytuff, which can just Encore or knock off. And this should be able to, and I still have this, which can Ivy Cudgel. So I'm gonna do the calc. Hydro Pump doesn't kill, and I'll be able to kill with Stone Edge. So I'm just gonna go for Stone Edge. As he switches out, preserving it, okay, fine. Down Fan, also fine. So he knows that I am probably gonna be Assault Vest in this matchup. How much does that do? Decent chunk. I immediately I thought he was gonna go Boot Spam in this matchup. That's why I didn't bring Hisuian Samurott. But if I brought Hisuian Samurott, he would be in so much trouble right now. Now here, obviously, I have to switch out. I can't risk, yeah, I can't risk getting Earthquaked in the face. So I'm gonna go out into my, yeah, I'm gonna go out into this. It's gonna be able to take any one hit this wants to go for. If he goes for rocks, he goes for rocks. With what he brought, he's probably gonna be Terra Ghost to spin block, like I said before. SC knockoffs, that's gonna do basically nothing. And here, I think, I'm gonna go for the aggressive superpower, predicting the stamina user to come in, the Arcaldon. If he stays in, he's probably gonna burn his Terra right now, which would also be really good for me. So he switches out, I assume Tar Arcaldon, he's probably gonna use Arcaldon, yeah. He brought Arcaldon to be his dedicated Ogerpon check, but unfortunately for him, Arcaldon is not a very good one, because, yeah, it gets superpower. So my attack drops, fine. Taking out this Arcaldon will be big, is because after that I can just spam Lost Purges very freely against his team, since his only resist will be gone. I think he's going to preserve this, but I don't want to make any aggressive plays because Arcaldon hits my team very hard. So I'm just going to superpower again. If he preserves it, he preserves it, which he probably will do. But I'm still in an okay situation as, yeah. So he's preserving it. That's fine. I could have went for the aggressive U-turn, but I didn't think the trade-off was worth it for me. As he goes out Pheasantipity, okay. Superpower, should do a decent chunk. Yeah, decent chunk. Crit matter? No, it doesn't. It's a quad resist, so it's not like I was going to be doing a substantial chunk. So many leftovers users. People are not prepping for my spike stack, which surprises me a lot, but oh well. So I'm just going to U-turn. He's probably going to counter U-turn, I assume. But that's fine. I could go out into Treads, but I don't think I'm going to do that here, because if I go out into Treads, it gets the chip that he needs for Hydro Pump to be able to kill. So I'm just going to go out into my Entei, and I'll probably fire off a Double Edge on whatever wants to come in. As I assume, yeah, he just counter U-turns, fine. Crit, no! Crit didn't really matter much, though. I don't need Entei really healthy for anything. I assume he goes like Blastoise here. Maybe he tries to set up the Shell Smash. But I'm a double edge variant, so I could just double edge and put him in an iffy situation. I don't want to switch out, because if this is a Shell Smash variant, I could potentially just lose to it right now. So I'm just gonna double edge. It should do a large chunk. Yeah, it does a large chunk. Fine, if he attacks, he attacks. He's Shell Smashes, okay. I could just revenge with Extreme Speed immediately after, so I'm not too scared of this. Actually, wait, is he gonna be Mirror Herb? Not Mirror Herb, no he isn't, so I could just revenge with, I could just revenge kill with the Extreme Speed immediately after. So in terms of who to sack, let me think, do I need... No, since he did not bring the Spectrier, I really don't need Wigglytuff for anything, so I'm fine with just going Wigglytuff and sacking it off so that I can fire off an Extreme Speed to revenge kill this after. I find Life Orb. That's interesting. As he misses, a little unfortunate for him, but I don't think long run it's going to matter much, just because I'll always, like, my plan is always to sack off Wigglytuff here so I can fire off Extreme Speed after. I'm just going to Baton Pass, it's because he isn't going to be able to kill with Hydro Pump since I'm like especially defensive Wigglytuff. Oh, that does more than I thought. So I guess Life Orb, so it did that a little bit more. So I Baton Pass so I can preserve my Wigglytuff as sack fodder later on in the game. And I'll go back out into my Entei and Extreme Speed. If he stays in, he loses this. If he doesn't, fine. He gets a big chunk on whatever else wants to come in here. But he surprised me a lot with his brings. He's also just getting in a situation where I can almost just spam Sacred Fires. It's because his only resist left is Rotom Heat, which is not the bulkiest. So I Extreme Speed, fine. Trigger Stamina, fine. And I'll Extreme Speed again afterwards to take this out. As, yeah, Extreme Speed will be able to take out at that range. Unless I am really... I overestimated Entei. I shouldn't have done that. Shoot. Yeah, I really shouldn't have done that. I could have gotten so much momentum. Oh. So, let me think. He's Rest, Talk, Hard Press. Probably Body Press is the last move. So I'm just going to go out into my Latios. If he Sleep Talks into the Hard Press, fine. It's not going to be able to kill, and I could just fire off a Draco and take this out. Or if he goes out Pheasantipity, fine. I'll be a little bit down on momentum, but that wouldn't be the end of the world for me. Sleep Talk, what does he get? Does he get the Body Press? Does he get the... He gets Rest, okay. I can make the aggressive flip turn. Is it worth it? No, the payoff isn't worth it, so I'll just Draco Meteor. If he goes out Pheasantipity, he goes out Pheasantipity. No! Oh, that is huge. That would have taken out this Archaldon, which would have been amazing for my team. So he gets Rest again. So it didn't... I mean, he's going to get momentum. I assume he's going to preserve this. But, yeah. Man. We have not been lucky these past few leagues we've been in. But RNG is just going to RNG. I would rather get hacks when I am in a position where I feel like I am winning the game than get hacks in a situation where I feel like I am losing it. So here he obviously U-turns. So I'm just going to go out into my Entei. Man, Entei kind of sucks. I did not expect Extreme Speed to do that little. I could go out into... I could sack my Wigglytuff to get momentum. Is that worth it here? Yeah, I think that's probably worth it. I'm fine with Wigglytuff going down. It'll hurt differential a little bit, but that's okay. So I assume U-turn. I get to see Black Sludge. Okay, so he takes out Wigglytuff, that is fine. I'm going to get to see what he goes out into and get a little bit momentum from there. I don't know what he's going to go out, honestly. It feels like no matter what he goes out into... Okay, Donphan. Fine. I regret not bringing Sword Stance on this. I'll just go out into my Latios and Luster Purge again. If he knockoffs, he knockoffs. I could also flip turn on the knockoff. Yeah, because it's because if I lose my Latios, or if I even lose my item on Latios, that Arcaldon is going to be a big issue for me. So I'm going to flip turn. As he Terras, so I'm very glad I flip turned. Let's see what he is. I think it's going to be Terra Ghost. Terra Steel, okay. Fine, he's probably knockoffing it. So I just flip turn, get a little bit of chip, and yeah, I'm okay with Tauros taking the hit. My Tauros was, honestly, I kind of forget why I brought Tauros. Oh, I brought Tauros for Blaziken, and Blaziken didn't come, so I don't really need it. Fine, he sets up Stealth Rocks. I assume he goes out Masquerain immediately after. I didn't bring like Stone Edge on this, but also fine. I'm not that scared of Masquerain, and I assume it's not going to be Roost. Do I break Sturdy? I can't tell if I break Sturdy or not. His Masquerain is definitely coming in. Yeah, I'll throw Chop predicting Masquerain to come in. As he stays in aggressively, interesting. And I lose my leftovers, fine. Sorry if I keep harping back to that Draco mess, but my game would be a lot more open right now if I had whatchamacallit, if I had Arcaldon out of the way. So fine, Intimidate gets off. Get a decent chunk. Probably going to Quiver Dance just because now he has the chip he needs, so I'm just going to go out into my Entei. And Extreme Speed. If he attacks, he attacks. He attacks, okay. Fine, that's not going to do very much, and he is running out of Sacred Fire switch-ins. I'll Stone Edge, predicting Rotom to come in. Also not the end. I don't think he's going to bring Arcaldon out into Sacred Fire. I could be wrong about that, but we'll see. It's because he has two options here. He could either go out into the Rotom, predicting my Sacred Fire, or he could go out into his Arcaldon and call out an aggressive play on my end. As I don't think he takes two. I don't think his Arcaldon's going to be able to take multiple Sacred Fires from a banded Entei. Let's see. Turtok, Turtle. So he sacks off Blastoise, fine. So Entei takes out the Blastoise. Yeah, I assume he goes out into his Arcaldon here. And probably hard presses. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense on his end, the hard press play. So he goes out the Arcaldon, which really should be gone right now, but Draco gonna Draco. I'm okay with just bringing my Tauros in and doing a chunk. So I'm also just trying to think of the Masquerain set. So it is Quiver Dance, Ice Beam, I assume Hydro Pump, Bug Buzz. This shouldn't do very much. Tauros is pretty bulky. Yeah, I'll close combat, why not? He's probably not going to be Roost on his Masquerain, and his Masquerain is taking a lot of chip. Who is that? That's a new Pokemon, I think. Okay, Pheasant Dippity, fine. Unfortunately, I'm like a defensive Tauros, so I'm not going to be able to kill the Pheasant Dippity with Earthquake. But I'll be able to do a decent chunk, which I'm fine with, because he's probably just going to U-turn here, honestly. As that does a decent chunk indeed, and yeah, he calls, so I called out the U-turn play. Is he going to get poison? He gets a poison. Unfortunate. I know it was bound to happen eventually, but still unfortunate. I need a, so once the Pheasant Dippity goes down, I'm pretty free to spam Dracos. Masquerain, fine. Am I okay with Tauros going? I'm debating just laying Tauros down to get chip on this. Oh, I'll go out into the Iron Treads. It's still he still needs a roll in order to be able to kill my Iron Treads, like an extreme roll. So I think he's gonna Quiver here, but we'll see. We'll see. We will see. So I go out Mecha Jimmy. As he shows me, yeah, he shows me the Quiver Dance. But Quiver Dance will not be able to kill as I am an Assault-Vested Iron Treads. And if I could get this down, my Tauros is a big threat to his team. I don't think he's gonna let this go down. He does let it go down. And he's not Hydro. So I take out Masquerain. So he is out, I mean, he is out of Tauros checks. Like, my Tauros is unfortunately poisoned, so it's eventually going to go down, but he doesn't have a switch into Close Combat Earthquake at this point. And I also think he's slowly running out of win conditions. Outside of, like, slowly stalling my team. Rotom. I could go Latios. It's just, if he Volt Switches, I would be a little bit in trouble. Actually, no, he has a slow team, so I wouldn't be in trouble. So I'm fine with going Latios. Yeah, it's because he doesn't have anything that'll outspeed Latios, and I can just fire off Luster Purge pretty freely. I think he's going to Volt Switch here, but as he overheats, okay. Does basically nothing, reveals that he is like a more defensive Rotom set. And I'm going to flip turn, expecting the Treads to come in, and also if I just flip turn, that's generally fine. That means he's probably specially defensive in Thunder Wave for my Latios, which would be very bad for me if I let my Latios get paralyzed. I highly doubt he just raw stays in if he isn't like specially defensive Thunder Wave. Okay, yeah, so he's probably like specially defensive Thunder Wave. Fine. I assume he Volt Switches then, or he just goes for Thunder Wave. So I'm going to go out into Mecha Jimmy, predicting the Thunder Wave as he discharges. Okay, fine. It's going to do nothing because Jimmy is Jimmy. And I could fire off a Stone Edge pretty freely here. And he's running out of the Sacred Fire Switches ends. The reason why I feel safe with the Stone Edge is he's at -2. Geraldon, fine. So I could have Rapid Spin. Oh well. I would have missed anyways. I'm okay with Jimmy going down. I don't really have a switch in for this. So I'll just Rapid Spin and allow my Mecha Jimmy to go down as into his probable Body Press. Once again, the Draco miss proving to be pivotal as the Arcaldon is basically his only way of winning the game. And unfortunately, I think it has a very good chance to, as I need to win like every single 50-50 in order to beat it. But I could lower the amount of the 50-50 by going Tauros and Close Combating. Yeah, I'm going to lower the amount the 50-50 is by Close Combating this. Might as well Terra. Yeah, might as well Terra, so that Body Press does less. Switches out. Okay, preserving. Who is he sacking? Okay, if he opts to sack his Pheasantipity right now, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. It's because he will have absolutely no Draco switch ends. Thing is, I don't think he's going to sack Pheasantipity here. I think he's going to go Rotom and Volt Switch on my obvious Earthquake. It's because it's very obvious that I'm Earthquaking this turn. But even if it's obvious, it's my only play. Yeah, that Arcaldon being alive completely changes this game. As now he has a Luster Purge switch on, which he wouldn't have before. Even though I don't want to do this, I'm going to sack off Tauros here to get Chip on this Rotom, so I can fire off Sacred Fires a little more freely. Do I think he's going to make the ballsy play and go out Pheasantipity? He might. I don't think that's in his best interest, but we'll see. He's taking it his time here, so he might go out into Pheasantipity. Is he faster? So he brought offensive Rotom? That surprises me a lot, okay. So my Tauros goes down. I'm going to have a little bit of momentum here, but Donphan. Okay, he's probably going to get his Stealth Rock back up. Fine. And he's going to get Leftovers. Also fine. I'm just going to fire off my Sacred Fire. He doesn't really have a good Sacred Fire switch in at this point, as Arcaldon does not appreciate getting burnt. nor does it appreciate getting chipped, just because then it can't hard press Latios as hard. I assume he goes, I don't know what he does. Maybe he goes like Rotom, because he's like an offensive Rotom. I don't think he would bring Scarf Rotom to this matchup. How much investment does Tauros have? I'm just double checking my stats I built a while ago. My Tauros is almost max speed, so he is a Scarf Rotom. Interesting. Yeah, he is definitely a Scarf Rotom. And he's definitely Volt Switching here. Does my Entei take... No, I do not take a Volt Switch. So I have to go out into my Ogerpon. As he's probably going to Volt Switch out into his Donphan and get up rocks. Man, this and TGS. I feel like I win this every single time if Arcaldon was gone right now. But since Arcaldon is around, I'm pretty sure I just lose. I mean, his rocks are obvious, but I can't do anything about it. Show me the Stealth Rock. I mean, it's obvious what he's going to do, but he can play extremely safely because he has the Arcaldon, which should not be alive right now. I mean, I lose Ogerpon, and from there I basically just lose the game. As my Latios isn't going to be able to 1v1 both the... Okay, so I get a crit. Fortunate on my end, that gives me a small... That takes me from completely out of the game to a chance. Not a good chance, but a chance. But... Arcaldon, okay. I need Entei's Extreme Speed for the Rotom. As much as I don't want to do this, I have to sack off Ogerpon. Actually, wait, no! Is my Entei going to go down to rocks? Oh, I may have just made a terrible, terrible play. Yeah, dude, if my Entei goes down to rocks, I lose. Like, I lose this every single time. Oh. And I think my Entei is going to go down to rocks. I think it's at 23% right now. I have to Luster Purge. I have to Luster Purge, hoping that he brings in Pheasantipity, predicting my Jericho. That is the only way I win, and he doesn't, so I lose this game. Yeah, I lose this. His Rotom's going to be able to Revenge Kill, and yeah. Even if I crit, I still lose. It's because my Entei is going to go down to rocks. Yeah, that's what happens sometimes in Pokemon. It's because his Rotom's going to be able to revenge if rocks don't take me out, which rocks will take me out. So, good game to my opponent. Very frustrating. See you guys next week.